Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Neverwinter Nights. When last we left off, we were talking to Aarin Gend here in this dialogue-heavy part at the beginning of the chapter, the literal plot dump of Chapter 2. How did you become a spy master for Lord Nasher?
That is a curious question, my friend. Nor does it have a simple answer if the truth be known, and is not a tale that I care to often tell.
I'd still like to hear the tale.
As you wish, my friend. Though I'll not be held responsible should you nod off during the telling of it.
It's not going to be that bad, is it? Oh, you have no idea. He was muttering it earlier on when I hadn't been summoned. Oh dear, just run.
Let me see. Perhaps it is best if I ask you a question first.
Oh?
You are a person of nature and the wild, are you not?
Yes. Except you're wearing full plate. Well, I'm just taking advantage of the feet system. Well, naturally.
How is it that you came into your calling? Was it an accident? Was it born purely of talent? Do you believe you were fated to be what you are?
I didn't mean to take this path, but here I am.
Aye, and no doubt the same could be said for many. Few know that the path they start upon will lead where it does.
Very wise words.
I myself started life as a slave in the southern deserts of Kalimshan. Never would I have foreseen that I might become who I am today. I knew of the lush and wild jungles of my homeland, Chult, only through the bedtime tales of my mother. I have never laid eyes upon its shore.
Hopefully you will one day.
My mother was owned by a most vicious and cruel caliph. As a slave child, one learns to stay out of sight and to move silently, lest one be beaten. Moreover, I learned to listen. I listened to the chatter of the servants, the bored talk of the guards. For many, many years, I was the shadow in the caliph's halls.
And then something changed.
For all my hiding, however, I proved of no use to anyone but myself. I could not save my mother when the caliph beat her to death for spilling a tankard of his mead, for instance.
You were a child. What could you have done?
I blamed myself regardless, as the young often do. In grief and anger, I stabbed and killed the caliph, and was subsequently chased into the streets of Kalimport.
What happened to you then?
I fled into the shadows of the city, and was not alone there. I found many who I will call allies and not friends, for we acted in unison only to survive.
Fair enough.
The law pursued me, so always I remained hidden and listened as I once had. The fact that I was a thief to remain alive did not help. And eventually, even the shadows of the city were no longer safe for me.
Understandable, considering you were stealing.
I sought passage out of the city, and eventually a captain took pity on me and gave me a position aboard his ship. Perhaps you have heard of Randall the Red?
I've heard of him. He was a notorious pirate.
Aye, that he was. A pirate whose reputation along the Sword Coast was more than deserved. I joined his crew, though I was no pirate in truth.
You were his eyes and ears.
I was not fond of drink as the other sailors were, and instead spent my time at each port making new contacts and listening.
Your spy network.
Over the years, Randall grew to depend on my skill. He gave me gold to establish informants throughout the coast, and I heard news the instant it happened.
That's handy.
It was I who kept Randall safe and one step ahead of his pursuers, for always would I know before the chase was on us.
How did you feel being a pirate?
I was not truly a pirate. I was his master of spies, though I did not put a name to what I did. And while Randall was indeed a pirate, he was an easy man to like. I was not fond of the looting and pillaging Randall indulged in, and did my best to subtly steer him away from the worst of it.
Did his best to subtly steer him to a better path.
Randall knew what I was doing, and permitted it only because I was otherwise invaluable to him. He cared not if I cringed and turned a cheek when the crew plied the worst of their bloody trade. As the years passed, I came into a certain amount of my own fame along the Sword Coast. My life was my life, and I was satisfied with it, and discharged my duty as best I knew.
And then something changed.
It was not until I encountered Lord Nasher that my life would change forever. That, however, is another tale. Ask me of it sometime, my friend.
Thank you for telling me.
And thank you for listening. As I said, it is not a tale I tell often.
Indeed.
Back to more important matters. Is there something you needed?
What will you be doing while I'm searching for the cult?
I still serve as Lord Nasher's master of spies, my friend. And his need for proper information is more vital now than even before.
Not surprised.
My ear must remain to the ground, even if my efforts must be coordinated from here, rather than deeper in the shadows.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I shall continue to seek word on the cult that might aid your quest, though I have my doubts in that. You will have far more success than I think.
What is the situation in Neverwinter?
Grim. Lord Nasher reports that many of our armed forces have perished from the plague, and even more are needed to restore order to the city.
Oh dear.
The worst is perhaps over now that the plague is cured, but still we reel from a crippling blow. It will be some time before things return to what they were.
Indeed. I have questions about the
What
region.
do you wish to know?
No, actually.
I shall hope that the gods keep you safe, my friend.
Yeah, there's not much more we need to discuss there. However, I think we are allowed to talk to Gend about something else as well. We should save on a different slot. Definitely save on a different slot. So, does he have anything else to say?
The gods smile on us that you remain yet unharmed for your efforts. With luck, success shall soon follow.
Hope so.
Aye. What would you have of me?
You told me to ask you sometime how you met Lord Nasher.
Aye, so I did. Though I had not expected that you would be truly interested in hearing the rest of the tale. Are you sure I am not boring you?
No, I truly want to hear it. I like the, of course it's boring, but I figure, why not? No, I truly want to hear it.
Is that so? I have not had someone eagerly asking me such since, well, never. Usually I am not so, how shall we say, available.
That's true, you tend to hide places and be a spy.
So be it. You will recall, I hope, that I made the majority of my early fame as the spy master for the infamous Randall the Red, aye?
Well, you did just mention it to me like 5 minutes ago.
That life continued much unabated. Our ship found safe harborage in Luskan, and Randall plagued the Neverwinter trade lines endlessly.
And you got caught.
Lord Nasher was not always the aged man you know now. When I first encountered him, he was a man in his prime, a veteran of the sword and in possession of a brilliant mind.
You're implying now that he is neither. Well, that's not true. He's still pretty good with his mind.
Lord Nasher vowed to end Randall's reign over the waterways. He personally sailed from Neverwinter to seek and destroy our ship.
How long ago was that? You can't be that old.
I was still a young man at the time, my friend. Our Lord Nasher already had a lifetime of adventure behind him, and was the greatest lord of the North. For 2 years we sparred, he and I. It was all I could do to discover his ingenious plots to find Randall, just in time to avoid them. Never had I labored so.
Ooh, he was a challenge.
Once, he even disguised himself and his men as Walkiner priestesses shipping gold to Am, knowing that would draw Randall like a moth to the flame.
That's clever.
Only at the last moment did I give in to my suspicions and warn Randall from their ship. It was a very close thing, however.
It's getting very close.
In the end, it was I who betrayed Randall. He grew more desperate and more violent, plundering ships and killing all aboard. This he had never done before.
He went too far.
When next the shadows told me of Lord Nasher's latest plot, I did nothing. I waited silently and watched as Nasher's men sprung from Randall's latest target.
I suppose you did what you thought you had to do.
Randall was no true friend. He made use of me, and I had needed him. It was a choice I had to make, and it was no easy one.
Didn't think it was.
I fully expected to be executed, and waited grimly as I was rounded up with the rest of Randall's men. My fate, as I saw it, was sealed.
But it wasn't, because you're still here.
I waited a long time in the dungeons of Castle Never. The first man who came to my dark prison, however, was none other than Lord Nasher himself.
Because he wanted to kill you himself! Critical hit! No.
He was very intense and charismatic, and suspicious. I was, after all, a well-known pirate, yes? He asked me only one question.
Do you know the Muffin Man? No, he didn't ask that.
Why did you not warn Randall the Red of my attack?
'Cause he knew that you knew that he knew, etc.
I told him that even though I served Randall, I could not allow what he was doing to continue. Lord Nasher seemed surprised by my answer.
Not surprised.
So you would betray any man you served if you did not agree with his actions? He asked me. And I had only one answer.
And that answer was yes.
I said I would betray any man who I felt was wrong. And my only regret was that I had waited as long as I did with Randall.
How did he respond to that?
He smiled at me and said that he only hoped that if he did something wrong, that I would tell him first.
Implying that he'd already hired you.
I asked him if this meant I was to serve him now. To that he said, no. I was to serve Neverwinter. That was to be my sentence.
It's not a bad sentence, to be fair, Aarin Gend.
I am 20 years into my sentence now, my friend, and I have been thankful for each year of it.
Lord Nasher sounds like a fine man.
That he is, my friend, that he is. And Neverwinter is a place I love. I could not have found a prison that suited me better.
It's a big prison, too.
And had I left, I never would have met my colleague.
Good grief, we haven't stumbled across a secret love story, have we? What's wrong, Aarin?
It is nothing, my friend. Something best forgotten that I should not have brought up.
Oh.
Your original question has been answered, I hope. Let us return to the topic of your mission and speak no more of me today.
Okay.
I shall await your return then. Be safe and Godspeed. The gods.
We can't talk to him about anything. Ooh,
what would
you
have of me?
We can actually talk about it, but we won't.
I shall await
just yet. I want to explore the rest of Port Llast first. Mainly, I want to go sell stuff. Then we'll go talk to him. Item creation feats are not available in the Neverwinter Nights campaign or Shadows of Undertide. They are in. Oh, hello. You're an adventurer, aren't you? I mean, greetings. That is, my pa and I could certainly use your help. You are so effortless, you don't have a description. Calm down, what seems to be the problem? Well, me and my pa, his name's Gerald, everyone in Port Llast knows him. We live on a farm just north of the town gates. There's a lot of monsters that live in the hills around our farm. Normally they wouldn't bother us so much, but lately they've been ambushing travelers and caravans and being really bold. He would kidnap my mother while me and pa were away from the farm last week. So my pa sent me to town to get help. You want me to find your mother? We just need your help. All I ask is you go and talk to my pa, Gerald. Nothing more. Alright, I'll help. That would be great, my lord. I'm sure my pa would appreciate it. To get to our farm, you just need to go through the north gate and follow the road a bit. I'll stay here for now, and find some more people to send to Pa till he calls me back. I'm sure you'll do the trick, though. Just go talk to him. Look at the massive map that we just have immediately illuminated for us. The Alliance Arm Inn, Kendrick's Mercenary Barracks, the docks, the temple, the dockhouse, magical sundries, the Cracked Anvil. Yes, the Cracked Anvil is where we need to go, right now. We need to go there because we need to go and sell things, because we have more things that need selling. There is the farmer, and there is a farmer's wife. Don't know why they specified just farmer and farmer's wife. They could have just gone farmer and farmer, but there you go. The Cracked Anvil. Are they important? Let's go talk to them.
Greetings.
Hello there. How are you today, good master? I'm fine, thank you. Well, that's good to hear. I thought with the weather being the way it is, you might have been depressed. How may I help you? Why would we be depressed about the weather? Well, if it rains too much, then we'll be flooded out. But if it doesn't rain enough, they'll have a drought. Any way you look at it, we farmers are going to suffer, and if we suffer, then there's no food. I mean, prices of goods will skyrocket in the cities. I figure that it might depress you. But enough doom and gloom. How can I help you today? You're not a farmer, are you? What gave it away? Was it the armor, or the cloak, or the bear? I think it was the bear, honestly. We need to talk about finances. don't have time to talk about gold. I have to spend all my time trying to make it little. I'm getting so a man can't. It's getting to a man can't afford to feed his kids these days. Oh, never mind. Sorry. You could literally try and scrounge gold out of them. Let's talk to the farmer's wife.
Good business to you.
Oh, good day to you, sir. You look like the kind of person who's seen many interesting things. I've seen a lot in my adventures. I bet you have, just like I've seen pretty much everything that happens in this town. I have some questions to ask you. I'd love to help you out in any way I can. Some people in town might be standoffish, but I believe in a no-secrets policy. Have you heard anything unusual lately? I certainly would say so. There's a very unusual ranger hiding out in a grove in the trees here to the north. He's telling the strangest tales of animal attacks. It's a bad sign for us, I say. Anything else? There are tales of werewolves running around and biting people. Just goes to show the world's going mad. I was telling my friend the other day that the world is on a path of destruction, no doubt about it. Those are the only strange things I can think of. Oh, fair enough. Happy travels to you, sir. That's very helpful. But let's go to the correct anvil and go and buy stuff. Hello. Worried frown covers the commoner's face as he goes about his business. How are you?
Can I help you?
Welcome to the cracked anvil. I'm Hajal Throndor, and I reckon you're here to dither and bargain with me right out of business, ain't you, stranger? What can I purchase here? Well, our selection of goods runs the gamut, being as that we're the general store for the town of Port Llast. As well, my smith over there can show you a wider selection of weapons. Why don't you take a look yourself? Let me see what I can buy. Unfavorable. Let's try and talk to the smith, shall we?
Hail to ye!
Greetings, half-orc. I be Hajal's smith. If you need some arms or armor and cannot find what you like in Hajal's regular stock, I may be able to help you. Let me see what you have. You're favorable. We're selling everything to you. Unlike the other guy who was unfavorable, and we're selling nothing to him. We don't need a +1 scimitar. We need that identifying purely so that we can sell this sash of shimmering, because we're getting loads of those. We don't need magic missile. Resist elements isn't the worst thing in the world. This is probably another Shield of Dawn. Yep, we'll sell that. This is also probably another Cloak of Elvenkind. We'll sell that. We'll also sell these and identify this. A Wand of Lesser Summoning. We'll hold on to that. Why not? We'll sell that, though. We'll keep the beer. What else can we sell? There's really not much else we need to sell, actually, which is really weird. But there you go. What have you got? Gauntlets of Ogre Power. Ooh, +2 strength Gauntlets of Ogre Power. They're cool, but they're 8 grand. What else do you have? +1 full plate? +1 full plate? The Armor of Horus Ree. For 24,000. Full plate +1. However, it's pretty expensive. We're also the Armor of the Stars. +3 armor class bonus, damage resistance. Oh, that's basically wizard armor. We're not going to find very many good things apart from... Full plate +1's only 3 grand. However, that weighs a lot. It weighs 50 pounds, and this weighs 9. So for now, we're going to avoid buying that. What else do they have? Natural armor awareness +2. A ring of protection +2. Ring of crimson, a ring of jade. They're not very good. We've done a few things just to sell a couple of items, odds and ends. A mirror shield. That gives spell resistance +12, so if we feel like we need a really cool shield, we can buy that for 22,000. There's not really much we can get here that's useful to us right now. Oh well, what do you have?
Can I help you?
Let me see what you can buy. I can buy. A nymph cloak and a cloak of protection +2. Fair enough. Not really a lot weapons-wise. We didn't actually look at your weapons stock at all, did we? There's a ring of scholars, which we don't really need. Actually, we didn't look at your weapon stock at all. You might have something really useful, like a scimitar +2. You have a scimitar +1. No scimitar +2, I see. Oh well. We've sold all we need to sell there. And now that we've done the main things there, we shall call it a video here. And when we come back, maybe we'll head out north of the city and go and examine various things there. Like the first port of inquiry for, there's a lot of things you can do in Port Llast. There's a lot of things. We might be here a while. Well, we should be. This is the hub, the main hub for Chapter 2, that is. So, when we come back, more exploring of Port Llast. So I'll catch you next time, folks. That farmer is, or peasant, is looking at us curiously. I'll catch you next time, and I'll see you then. Later. Maybe it's the cloak. Maybe it's the bear. Nothing wrong with me. I think it's the cloak, personally. Later.